Today I wanted to take you guys along as I am doing kind of a normal morning routine, doing some homemaking and some homestead chores. And I thought I would share with you guys a few of the goals that we have here on our homestead and some of my personal goals for the year ahead, 2024. We have lots of things in store for this year, and we're really excited to see them come into fruition. At the beginning of every year, we like to sit down with our notebook and just kind of write down some goals that we have for ourselves, for our family, for our farm, and just kind of project where we would like to be by the end of the year ahead. So for this year, I split my goals up into 5 different categories. First being faith, next is family, health, homestead, and finances. So starting with my personal faith goals this year, I'm still kind of praying on it and seeing what else comes to mind to set for this year, but so far I know that I want to do the Bible recap plan, and I already started that on the first day of January. It's just a simple 15 to 20 minute Bible reading each day, and it helps lead you through the entire Bible in a year. I actually read the Bible all the way through in 2022 following a plan, but this plan actually has a devotional that goes with it each day that kind of explains in detail what you read that day. So I just want to get a little bit more out of my reading, whereas in 2022 I was kind of just reading it to check the box to get the Bible read all the way through because I had never done that. So this year I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about what I read each day. Up next are a few family goals that I have set. I haven't sat with my family and actually figured out any together that we all want to accomplish together. So these are ones that I just set for myself. I would like to go on a couples retreat with Robert this year, whether that is just an overnight thing or a week-long event, whatever that looks like. Just something that really focuses on our marriage and our relationship, just getting away and kind of unplugging from everything and really just refocusing on us as a couple, because I think it's really important to make an effort to strengthen your marriage. I also have a goal of spending at least 1 hour of quality time every day with my daughter. Her and I spend the majority of every day together doing school and chores and whatnot. But I would like to take 1 hour of intentional time with her every day and either work on a project or go out and do something or just sit and talk, but something that is very intentional and not distracted by TV or phones or anything like that. Something that we can look each other in the eye and really just bond and work on our mother and daughter relationship. I won't go into too much detail on our financial goals for the year because obviously that's a little private and not meant for sharing with YouTube audiences. So moving on to my health goals for the year. I want to try something different this year rather than just starting off with New Year's resolutions in January and kind of fizzling out as the year goes by. I would like to challenge myself every month of the year with some new kind of health challenge. So this month we are actually doing a Whole30 challenge, and that's where you spend 30 days cutting out all sugar and sugar substitutes, as well as grains, dairy, processed fats and oils, and those types of things. So we are focusing on whole foods, which really works out because that's what we grow here on our farm. So we're eating a lot of meats, vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds, and good fats and oils. Challenges for the rest of the year, I haven't sat down and figured out exactly what I want to do each month, which I need to do so that I can be intentional about it, but was thinking things like maybe in February doing 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week for the entire month or something along those lines, but just setting intentional goals for every month of the year to kind of help keep myself on board with taking care of myself throughout the year and not fizzling out after January rolls around. Something else that I want to stick to throughout the year is doing a Monday meal prep. So having all of our meals planned and grocery shopped for by Monday so that I can spend the first part of Monday to make the rest of the week more successful for cooking and eating at home. By having things already prepped and easy and ready to go, I can almost guarantee that we can eat at home most nights of the week. The last goal category that we have, and probably the biggest one, is our homesteading goals. Ever since we bought this property, we have been working on this property, and I don't see that ending anytime soon because we are still tweaking it and perfecting it and making it exactly like the dreams that we've had in mind for this place. And we are so thrilled with how far it's came, but we know that there is still a long ways to go. So this year we have several goals that will make our homestead more functional and more productive. One of those being to place underground water lines. Now that our metal building / barn is up in place, we are ready to kind of work on our pasture that's behind it and get it ready for some grazing animals. So it's just a matter of digging those trenches and putting the pipe down and having those water lines installed, which is going to be so great because we won't have to lug hundreds of feet of water hose across the yard and then move the water hose whenever we want to mow the grass. So putting water lines will be a game changer for us for sure. We also want to revamp our pig pens. We have 4 pig pen paddocks that we installed last year at the beginning of the year, and they've worked great, but we have found a few issues that we need to correct moving forward. And if our male and female will ever breed and have babies for us, we do need a pen that will accommodate piglets so that they're not running out and getting lost or getting away from us or anything like that. So we need a piglet or farrowing pin specifically, but we also want to add another pin so that we can properly rotate our boar and our gilt, plus any piglets that she might have, on at least a 3 paddock rotation. We want to add a more solid electric fence source. As of right now, we're using the solar panel chargers and they're just not quite strong enough for our boar in particular. He still tests the fence every single day. He doesn't necessarily try to come through them, but he can. And he knows that he can. We want something that will make him not test the fence anymore and not give him any silly ideas. We also want to work on our rabbitry area. We built a rabbit hutch at the beginning of last year and have since added more rabbits and had new litters of rabbits. And so we brought a few more rabbit hutches onto the property, and we really need a designated covered area for these rabbits. Something that will protect them from blowing rain, which we get kind of often being here on the coast of North Carolina. We do have a hurricane season, tropical storm season, so rather than having to bring all of our rabbits inside of the garage every time something like that happens, just having a 3-sided lean-to or shed or something that we can have our hutches safe underneath during inclement weather. As I mentioned before, we have been working on this land since we bought it, and there's still quite a bit of work to do for as far as the drainage goes. This is just a very low and flat piece of property. It was almost completely underwater whenever we bought it, very swampy. Since then, we have added some ditches and brought in several loads of dirt to build up certain areas like where our house sits. And so we just need to continue doing that in this next year, just establishing roads with some gravel rather than just driving on the exposed dirt and creating ruts and mud. We have a few areas we want to build up with some organic matter, so we're thinking about doing some round bales of hay and rolling them out in the field to feed the soil and also to build up the soil And we have a few more swales and ditches and all of those kinds of things that we want to get established as well, just to help the water to flow off this property a little bit better. A big addition to our homestead, we are hoping to finally bring some sheep onto this land. I really think that they are going to do an amazing job building up our pasture. We're going to have to hay feed them for probably at least a year or two to get our pasture established, but they will be doing the job of fertilizing and disturbing the soil and pressing the seeds of the hay down into the soil, and also providing us with meat and milk and possibly fiber, and of course enjoyment, because I just love sheep. I think they're one of the most beautiful animals. I'd like to know what kind of goals you have set for yourself or your family or your homestead if you have one. Please leave them in the comments below, and let's share some ideas and some inspiration with each other. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and share it with your friends and family who you think might enjoy our content as well. And until the next video, we'll see you guys next time.